What is up, boys and girls? Ladies and gentlemen, Traders Class Swing Traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Feeling good, feeling good. We got Drew in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Andy, Bill, Brad, Cheryl, Cindy, Jeff, Joe, Lucian's in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Martina, Michael, Rob, Russ, Shane, Tim, Virginia, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to LQ, all my lurkers in the background of YouTube. Not gonna say anything all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But whew, Friday. Friday. I don't know. This week felt kind of long. I don't usually like the weeks fly by. This one, I'm like, how's this only Friday? It was only 1 week. I don't know. But either way, so far on a weekly candle, we are surviving. We're getting a little gap up this morning. Let's add another one maybe to the tally. We'll see where today closes. If it stays relatively positive, which it looks like, probably have to have a pretty decent sell off to flip this candle to red. Otherwise, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 week 7 in a row that would be bullish again if we manage to hold. Daily chart so far tells me that we have the ability to hold. That would take us even inside day. It is a little bit of a retest candle. I'm looking for a support somewhere around 660.99. If we start to break that down, we don't really have support till 658.58. That was already a spot that has been retested. So if we get down there, maybe a little more likely to break. And then you got 657.41, which actually might take us into a perfect high wave candle. Hold on. Very, very close to a high wave candle on the week if we end up closing around there. But for right now, still looks pretty decent. Not too bad. Quad witch. We do have quad witching today. So you got your dailies, your weeklies, your monthlies, and your quarterly options all expiring today. That might add a little extra volatility and just some chaos, probably randomly throughout the day. But recently it's been very early morning. You see some craziness, and then especially the last like 15 minutes of the day, you'll see the markets go bananas. Especially on some individual names would get some crazy moves. But Q's still looking pretty healthy in a bullish direction. Again, we have a nice little trap hammer candle that came in on Wednesday from Jerome Rome. We got that nice little bounce above it. Today we are opening inside day, retest gap. But first VPOC that we have to look for is 596.06. So let's see if there's any type of support there on a small pullback. And if so, maybe we could rally. If we break that down, a couple psychological levels. First one, I guess 595.30. Your next one, 594.89. Your one after that is 593.05. The real one is quite a bit ways to the downside. That's 591.30. And we have some room to get down there. We've not retested that zone yet. And yeah, Q's could have a little pullback if that support does not hold. So let's hope. Let's hope it holds for the bulls. We got Bitcoin pulling back today. Nothing really crazy. Again, inside day. At least for the moment, you are below the closing price of yesterday. You're below the opening price. You're getting very close to just taking out that entire day candle. So you could have a little element of bearish engulfing candle for today for Bitcoin. Otherwise, your first support 116.003. I think a much better support, probably around 115.800 if you get down to that spot for Bitcoin. Other than that, relatively quiet day, and we'll see again how this market opens because I don't think it's going to stay too quiet all day. Let's see, we got Tesla had a upgrade and a downgrade today. We got a ton of lines on this thing. Let me take most of this off. But yeah, they came in with a sell from one astute firm, and then they came in with a buy from another astute firm. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, a little bit of a gap up from the close. I did buy some options on Tesla, some calls yesterday, right toward the close, just because we were running right into that support that we talked about, 417.27. Took all day to get there. Almost bearish engulfing candle, not quite, but really just pausing at that little support. I think I'll probably close out of that pretty quickly, and I don't know if I want to hold it all. I'd rather just reset tomorrow, but it should be up a little bit in value. Looking for Resistance on this one, and again, most of this, it was a gap up, it was a retest gap, it was probably a little overextended on the sell side of things. However, it was a retest gap, so pretty massive gap up, two or one inside day. Bulls showed they could go further. I still like this thing bullish. I think the upgrade target was like five something, like 510 or 520 or something like that. Again, I wouldn't put that target for today, but watch for your resistance somewhere around 422.10. If you could break through that, you might have room back to like 425.93. After that, 428.91 to the downside. I'm looking for maybe about 418.69 and then maybe a double bottom that comes in somewhere close to 417.13. Anything below that starts to get a little sticky. We have some psychological levels, 415.57, a big level, 414.29, and then we have um, looking a little weak at that point, but 410.04 is that last hope. Anything past that, really, you have a lot of room on this one down to 394 flat. So we'll see if the Bulls can kind of hold this little bit of a gap up in Tessie for now. Like I said, I think I'll see where that first candle or two goes, and then if we start breaking that 422, I'll just hold for a little bit longer. We'll see. We got SE, C Limited. Um, I wish this candle had more volume. You had your sell-off candle that came in September 15th. You're above a decent location. Great close yesterday. Um, not a heck of a lot of volume for that big of a drop. So if there was more volume to that, I would say this is a little bit more important of a gap for today. But nonetheless, decent close as long as we can stay above probably about 190.40. It should be decently bullish lean. You are going to have yesterday's VPOC as a resistance on this one, so 190.75. So very tight range. If you can break out of that, I think your next target to the higher side, 192.22. Anything past that, you have a nice move to 196.78. To the downside, even if you break that first level, you have another support, 190.06. A little bit of a level, somewhere around 189.72, and then your next target to the downside, 186.71. But I'd probably put a little bullish lean to it for today. Again, try to see if this thing could hold the support, break that next resistance. That would be a fairly decent move. It is a gap and go from yesterday, but right now, a little bit of a tight range. But I would throw a bullish lean to it. Uh, Palantir. Palantir is chilling for now. Inside day candle. It is a little bit of a gap down. Watch for 175.32. And then I think your resistance, which we did get to yesterday, 176.87. So really good looking day. I think I'd want to see a little pullback. By the way, just because of all the options expiring today, you're getting some pretty crazy buy imbalances, sell imbalances that will continue to form throughout the next 20 minutes. Today could be one of those days where you just the market opens and then these candles just all kind of break out. Probably a good day to take some like pre-market break levels, and then you most likely have to be a little quick with targets and things like that for the very first candle at least, because you could get some deep momentum on some of those very first candles. But other than that, if you could break out of that 176.77 zone, you got the next target, I think 180.25. And I wouldn't be shocked if you could hit 181.12 as well for today. So some decent targets higher. If you start to lose the support of 175.32, I think you got your next, even having a little alert there. We just, I guess, never got there. Skipped it. I don't know. I don't know why that's still there or when I set that one, but yeah, look for somewhere around this 173.38 is your next support. That should be a really good one, but we'll see what happens from here. So still bullish, really nice candle from yesterday. Good follow through. Again, besides that first candle today, I wouldn't be shocked if this one does a little smaller move today. Maybe not as rampagey as it was yesterday, but watch that support. See if that one wants to hold. That's probably the spot where I'd be interested in buying, if anything. Coinbase. So we tried day trading in Coinbase 2 days in a row. Each time did not work. I luckily did buy some options, some calls, so I made probably my month's target on Coinbase yesterday for that. But of course, we did not get to day trade it because mine tricked me 2 days in a row. I'm being nice on my wording. But yeah, it had a pretty decent open and then just kind of took off, ran. We were saying that 351.84 target was the spot where I think this thing could get to. It absolutely ran right to it. Um, what I drew out in the beginner's room, I think it was, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday. Could have even been Tuesday, but I was thinking we do something like this. We get to this 351.84 zone. We do get a little bit of a pullback. I think that's a deeper pullback than where we're at now. Probably back into this just under 330, 327, 328 zone. And then I think you get that next push into probably about 370. So I'm waiting to see if this thing comes back. If it does, I'm going to retry to buy some more calls. I'm completely out of Coinbase now. But if that happens, that looks good to me. Other than that, well, Bitcoin is coming down a little bit. We do have a little bit of a bearish gap and go for today on Coinbase. More notably, this 345.50 should be our resistance. 345.82, let's call it. Should be our resistance. Yeah, 351 hit perfectly. I was bailing before because I held on to some close to the end, but otherwise, yeah. I think Ben, you held on the whole ride. You that seatbelt was working. I don't know, but I'll give it some time. I'll see if we get that pullback and then we try it again. Let's roll it again. All right, we got serve. So I'd be probably indifferent on Coinbase for today. Not really too bullish. I think we come up, we retest the 345 zone, and I think that acts as a really good resistance. Serve, beautiful looking gap today. I do have covered calls on serve that do expire today, but they're at $17 strike. So if we get there, I will get called away. And if we get there, I will not complain. I will not be too upset. I'll be perfectly fine. But really good gap for today. Got a little resistance that we got to deal with. I wish I could be more biased and just say this thing probably runs to the moon, but we have $13.46, so watch that. Otherwise, you had a couple good levels of support. 13.23. That should have been a little support. Looks like we're trying to open above it. 13.02. And then I saw Yates, I think it was in Slack yesterday, talking about serve. And I was like, yeah, fine. Get on the team, Yates. Join the team. But I'm in it. I'm in it already. I'm looking for $16. That would be like a 3 yard target for me, something like that. Really nice move. But then Yates comes in. He was throwing out. This thing could easily move to 20. So take it for what it is. But once my contract expires today, Monday, I'll reset, and I'll probably go a little bit higher than my $17 strike. Maybe I'll go to 18. We'll see what happens. But I think this $18.16 level is going to be a pretty big one. I absolutely can see this thing running to this untested VPOC, $21.17, and then right before it, you got $19.59. So I'll keep selling calls till we get called away. But my main goal is 16 is cool. Anything above it is gravy. But really, really good gap for today. It is a retest as well, so be careful. Maybe get a small pullback. It is in an interesting location. You're gonna have the option characters coming in and messing with some of the markets today, so we'll see what happens. But I think buying dips on serve, if this thing doesn't just open and run, I think looking for some kind of dips on serve will be good. Again, I am in it, so that is my biased view. But I'm human. That's all I could give you. That's it. All right, we got serve Okta. Okta is chilling. Retest gap. You are slightly, if we open here, above the 50 EMA. Next target on this one is probably about 94.29. I do like Octa. I'm a big Octa fan. I don't own any of it now, but I've put swings on it before. I've done some position trading on it. In a longer term basis, you have your huge volume somewhere at 91.49. As long as we stay above that, I like it. Next bigger target, I guess, takes us into, I don't know, $98.19. Anything past that, we could get to like 107 again, which would be nice. But yeah, looks like this is a nice move, solid pullback, good consolidation, staying above a pretty high volume zone. So longer term basis, I like it. I think it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to get into it. For a day trade, I don't love that resistance 94.31. That's not going to get me too far. And then on the pullback side of things, I don't really have any support until 92.50. So I think if this one pulls back to 92.50, maybe into that 92.38 zone, you could probably set up a decent swing or look for your day trades there. See if you get a pullback, I think, first on this one. Otherwise, anything that starts closing above 94.31, we probably have to chase it. But um, pretty, pretty interesting setup so far. And I think there was a good pre-market buy imbalance on it as well. Zeta. Bijal says the iPhone 17 is out. Yeah, I think the last report they said there was a 500% increase of demand. Not bad. 500 seems pretty good percentage, I think. Zeta, nice little gap and go for today. Still inside day candle. Watch for psychological level at least 21.35. Otherwise, I think your real target is 21.48. On a daily basis, you're well above the main volume, so anything above 1890, I would stay bullish. You don't really have too much additional volume. You got a little bit where maybe bears want to just hold this thing back, somewhere around this 2166 zone, but I think they lose. I think that probably breaks out. You got 2312, and then you got 2479, I think, are future prices for Zeta. All of yesterday, even though it's a red candle, it was just really a retest gap. We've never really fully retested. Full retest for me would be come into this $20.71 zone, and it hasn't done that. So maybe look for some chop. I think if this one continues to go down further, it does look pretty good on a daily. But for today, choppy. I think chop. Chop City. I'd still put a bullish lean on it. Is that my long-term account, sir? No, it's just more of a pyramid. Uh, Position trading, let's say. Let's call it a position trade. Yep, Serve is not my long term. I have no idea the fundamentals of Serve. To be honest, I don't even know what Serve does. So I rule number one for my long term account, I kind of have to understand what the company does. Um, Maybe they have servers, or maybe they're in the hospitality business. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the chart looks good. We got BMNR, little inverted hammer. So watch this one. With that inverted hammer, I think this is going to be a very, very important level, $60.15, and then equally as important, and maybe more important, $6.44. Watch those two zones for resistance. If we can't break through it, we look kind of weak at those zones. Um, not a tremendous open quite yet. We still got 10 more minutes. We'll see where this thing actually opens. But that is a little warning sign. Anything above this wick takes all of the element of that bull trap out of this one. And then I think you get a really, really good move after, kind of like Neo almost. Let's check out the Neo hammer from, or inverted hammer a couple days ago. So Neo also a little bit of a run up. You had that inverted hammer. This one was able to gap above it. And then we got a nice close right above that wick. So there's your continuation. Once you take out that wick, Neo did it pretty successfully, quickly, and then you get your follow through. Neo's actually gapping up a little bit today as well. Neo's probably got some room on it actually, but same concept there. Just watch that inverted hammer. It's a little warning sign. Doesn't mean the stock is coming down, but we have to definitely close above today's support, today's resistance on that one for today at least. RKLB. Yeah, I typed every combination of words besides it. Rocket Labs. Gap and go. Bullish gap and go. Still in the lower end of yesterday's candle. Big resistance, $47.82 all the way to like 47.85-ish. We start getting above that, you got 48.36. So watch it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that daily gap. This candle right here has the absolute most recent volume on it, and that is going to be a very difficult spot to take out. So anything closing above it, it starts to look good. It started to look good the very next day, maybe for a bounce, but that sentiment bearish engulfing after what the bulls should have. They worked so hard to get there, and they gave it all back the next day. So I think this one looks weak. Even though you have a gap and go, I would be more interested, I think, in shorting RKLB at 47.83, even though, yeah, I mean, we've put in higher highs, we've put in higher lows. I think I'd be slight leaning to the short side for a little bit better risk reward. It's already gone up a lot too. Um, but watch it. As soon as it starts breaking some of those resistance, maybe we could flip it. But Shopify is opening into a absolute beast of a resistance. Maybe. We'll see where it actually opens. You have big resistance on this one, 152.89. I kind of like it to the short side. When I say short side, I am only talking about day trade wise. Everything else looks pretty phenomenal. If we could get a close above 152.95-ish for today, that would be a good sentiment going forward. Otherwise, big retest gap. We've run up a lot. You have that resistance. I think if you're going to try to buy it 151.93, I also think that's your target to the downside. Today, we can get some wild moves, and maybe that breaks. Next target would take you into 150.03 as well. So, um, interesting. I think longer term looks pretty decent, but let's see where that one closes today. Otherwise, if you're going to take a shot, you're going to need that thing to come down a little bit more. The other one that I was watching for a swing, I've also talked about this one in the beginner room. I kind of like the beginner room. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. We've been talking a lot of like swings and go like deep diving into individual stocks. It's been fun. I liked it. But Stephen King is gonna come back, and then that's it. I get the boot. It's just how it works. We got CoreWeave. They did have an upgrade today. This is one that I've been looking at. I'm not really quite sure the game plan yet. But we're counting waves. We have this nice little downtrend. CoreWeave has the ability to do some crazy things. I think we got some targets up to this like 138, 142 zone, somewhere up here, potentially next. And then obviously we could take that out. You got targets 165-ish, something like. So I am watching this one. The upgrade I think kind of helps today, but if this one pulls back, if this pulls back, I'm going to be getting in on that breakout. If we break out here, I'm gonna be tiptoeing into it because we still might have that retest and then this, but um, I like the break of today's candle if we could get there. We even with the upgrade, we haven't done it yet, so I have this on my list. We'll see what happens. We are above yesterday's VPOC, which is good. I think inside day, you're gonna wait for a little bit of pull back at least, maybe into this 120.19, and then see if we get that break, which may come today, maybe Monday, Tuesday next week. And if it doesn't and stays in there, then we'll just continue to watch it. But we'll see. Let's see. Any other tickers? There is Echo. LQ says there's an echo. Am I echoing? Take a look at Apple. There was, and then it fixed itself. Technology is amazing. Yeah. Good now. Okay. I don't know why. All right. We got Apple. That is a gap up for today. Again, probably some excitement that the Apple iPhone 17 is available for sale. Could also be a sell the news event. Nonetheless, inside day candle. Nice little gap and go. You're taking out any bears from yesterday. We are above all VPOCs. I like it. If we get that pullback 239.59, I'll be patiently waiting for that. That would be the spot where I would be looking to see if I could capture some of that bullish momentum to the higher side. It was right at the beginning, huh? Hmm. Lucian says I get that a lot when my internet signal is unstable. People tell me I'm unstable, actually. Yeah, I can vibe with that. We got Aklo. Could be continuation. Well, that's a lot of buying. That is a hefty move we've already had. It doesn't mean it has to end. And it's a good open for Aklo at least. I think there was a buy imbalance on Aklo for this morning. Uh, you got 107.71. That should be your support. So anything above that, yeah, I would stay bullish. Anything below that, you've got a big move to the downside, probably somewhere to the next actual level, 95.19. You will obviously have some psychological levels before. Teslai's taking off a little bit. You got 105.12 is your first psychological level. Second one, 98.59. And let's throw another one halfway through that candle, somewhere around 102.40. But other than that, if you're bullish, it looks so far still bullish. It's kind of like a reverb. Maybe it was just how I was talking. Maybe that was just me. I'm like the beat, maybe like the beatboxer sound effect guy from what's the Police Academy? Spaceballs, I think it was into. There was another ticker. Was it Snap? Oh, INTC. Snapchat. There was also a decent buy imbalance on this one. I think people are probably looking for 905. That takes you about 57 cents higher on Snapchat. Again, I'll probably wait to see if you get a pullback 837. Let's cover Intel, INTC. Obviously, a phenomenal day yesterday. Um, didn't hold as well as I would like. You still have some support from the zone up here, so I think it's going to be a little bit choppy from here. Again, the bulls, I would have preferred bulls want to come in and cover this $30.67 zone, like stay above it. They haven't done that, so I'm looking for $30.65 that to be some kind of resistance. Otherwise, if we could get above it, okay, we have a shot at maybe pushing higher. But that is, we were up what 32% in the day, 33%. So big move. Probably needs a couple days to figure itself out from here. Other than that, not loving the open where I'd be excited to go bullish quite yet. But if you go a little bit higher, I'd be in. Just probably Monday, Tuesday. Let some of the prior news settle down a little bit. I think on that one. Other than that, the bell is about to ring, so make sure you guys hit your like and subscribe button. Good morning, sir. My question is, how do you determine day target? Is there any indicator? There is the indicator I built, uh, which you could shoot me an email, dan@reallifetrading.com. That will give you stops, that will give you targets on trades. But other than that, I'm using support resistance to kind of find levels. But good question. Everybody out there in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and you guys are phenomenal.